It has been brilliant to have you back with us, and I'm delighted to welcome Baroness Granger, Olympic champion. Too many titles for me to give. An old crewmate, my old pairs mate. Lovely to have you with us for this heat of the Bridge, the new event this year at Henley. The Bridge Challenge Club, we've got Thames Rowing Club and Molesey Boat Club on the left of the screen, and Thames Rowing Club and Henley on the right of our screen. And there's a real excitement about this event.
Isn't it brilliant? I think we all, every day so far we've seen this event, you can just see the standard. You also know, speaking to any of the athletes, they are so passionate to be part of this event. It's a really one that's going to, I think, transform this regatta, something that I think people are very proud of.
Yeah, there's been a call, you know, from clubs, from coaches saying there's a gap here, and we as a regatta and we as stewards of the regatta are listening all the time to the clubs. Parity is the aim. We're inching closer, more than inching. We're getting much closer every day. And these crews are composite crews, again, putting together, thinking, can we get our names engraved on that first beautiful trophy that's been made for it? But at the moment, it's the Thames and Henley Rowing Club composite who are on the right. No, it's the, yes, Thames and Molesey, who are now on the right of your screen here, who have actually managed to get quite a lead on Thames and Henley. Yeah,
that big shining M sign in that bow is the sign that Molesey is thundering down the course along with Thames. They're in a really lovely rhythm. It's got that. Eights are amazing, isn't it? When you get that rhythm right and you've got that little bit of a lead, you get that, you can relax into it. You can see the length they're taking, and every stroke they can just move out a little bit further down the course.
So a lot of the athletes in the Thames and Molesey boat crew, it's an under-23 development crew. So these are our future Olympians. These are our future GB team potentially in this crew of Lola Crampin, Neen Comerford, Flynn Green, Lily Abbott, Harriet Noyes, Leisha O'Donoghue, Rhiannon Luke and Tess Peake, coxed by Charlie Watkins. And they're looking at control there, aren't they?
They really are, and they're all quite experienced. A lot of them, although they're under 23 sort of development crew, they've come to Henley quite a few times between them, and they will know this course well. They'll have enjoyed racing down this course before, but as we say, this is a new event for them to experience.
So beautiful view there. We can see how they'll be grooving in the styles that come from the different clubs. Part of the reason they want to do an event like this is because these are people who will be racing together in combinations, trialling for the British team in future years. So it's important to bring them together, to get them rowing together, to shaping their development, their technique, their style of racing all the time. And, you know, the Thames and Henley crew are a new composite. They haven't raced. They haven't been training together through the season, but they've done an amazing job. We've got Caitlin Kickham at bow, Ellis Nee at 2, Fiona Shields at 3, Charlotte Connell at 4, Abigail Adebi at 5, Natasha Cowie at 6, Olivia Cassidy at 7, Sina Schaefer at stroke, and they are coxed by Charlotte Fosconi, who is at her 7th Henley Royal Regatta.
And Charlotte will be, you know, in that cox's seat, even when there's a big gap against the crew ahead of you. You know, it's really about how much of a performance they can put in. You know, it's unlikely they're now going to overtake that margin, but they can still put on a great show. It's brilliant. They're at the Thursday of Henley. It's a big event to get to, and there's a lot of pride in how you race and how you compete right down to the last stroke. And these are people who will want to make their mark on this moment in time down this course.
In our sport of rowing, you can't actually change how fast the other crew go, and so a lot of it is about laying your neck on the line and really testing yourself and your crew together. What's possible? Can you walk away and say, we absolutely gave everything? What else can you try out? And, you know, how can you enjoy it? Have an incredible race where you feel you left everything out there.
And also want to come back next year and do it all over again.
Train even harder in the winter. Maybe you go another round next year. That's how it all starts. The bug, the rowing bug that we're all completely trapped by, whether we're in the commentary box, in the boats, on the side watching, or at home watching the YouTube. And yeah, we're so excited to have so much support on the banks and watching our live stream.
And these are fantastic angles we're getting as well from the overhead shot. You can see the angles, you know, the angles of those 8 blades. They're really synchronous, really synchronized. They're not changing as they come through the water when they're on that sort of feather and release point. They're just timing that beautifully. And again, when you have this sort of lead, you can relax into it. You can almost bring out the best in yourself and your crewmates. The cox will just be making sure they're calm, they're in control, but you don't want it to drop too low. You still want the standard to be high, especially coming back in front of these grandstands where the crowds are still here to the end of the day to support you.
Yeah, they're putting on a show for the crowds, and you're right, you've got a lovely combination of huge focus because you're in a race, and that adrenaline means everybody's really on their game, and so you can often actually build in, refine that technique, groove in patterns at a really high level that will then be there when you've maybe got more pressure later in the event.
And also, because we have increasingly live streamed different ways to capture this moment, you also know you'll be sitting down with your coach later on to look at exactly what has been left out there and what can be improved on.
Drone is the coach's dream as well as the audience's dream, and there we see a very supreme, impressive Thames Rowing Club and Molesey Boat Club crew cross the line first, whilst Thames and Henley finish their race. They race it in, they try and take the rate up, making sure they give as good an account as they possibly can for themselves. And here we see them in the lovely sunshine at Henley this afternoon, coming up to the line, having taken place in this historic first round of the first ever Bridge Challenge Plate Trophy.